Welcome to the deep dive. We're constantly surrounded by AI these days. It's everywhere, isn't it? Shaping our phones, our news feeds. Sometimes it feels a bit overwhelming. How do we really get a handle on it? And maybe even more importantly, how do we help, say, younger generations navigate all this? Well, today we're diving into something that tries to answer just that. It's a fascinating new book called The AI Adventure Guide, exploring the world of AI and ChatGPT for children of all ages. And honestly, don't let the children part fool you. We think this guide has some surprisingly deep takeaways for anyone wanting to get smarter about AI, no matter where you're starting from.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's really cool about this deep dive is we're not just looking at the book's text. We actually get to peek behind the curtain a bit. We have info on its production, like the specific KDP settings used to print it.
KDP being Kindle Direct Publishing,
Yeah.
like Amazon's platform.
Exactly. And we even have some of the actual prompts they use with AI to generate the illustrations in the book. It's kind of meta. So it gives you this rare glimpse into how a book about AI was actually made using AI, layers upon layers.
Right. So our mission here is to unpack how this guide empowers young learners and, by extension, you listening, to really explore AI. Explore it responsibly, creatively, critically. We'll see how it works as a kind of shortcut to getting informed, with some genuinely surprising facts and advice that, frankly, apply to all of us.
Precisely. It's about getting the core ideas of how to engage with AI, seeing how they took this huge, complex topic and made it, well, approachable. An adventure, like the title says. And yeah, seeing how these things are actually made now with AI tools. It's fascinating how they distilled it all down.
Okay, so to really get the feel of this guide, let's start right at the beginning. The dedication. It's to Charlie, and the message is really quite personal, very encouraging. It says, "May AI help you find your way to develop your own skills and confidence to explore and go where the only limit is your imagination."
That dedication, it really sets the tone, doesn't it? It frames AI right away as like a supportive companion. Not something scary, not something that replaces you, but something that helps you learn without that fear of failure and criticism.
Yeah.
It's all about fostering boundless curiosity and a thirst for learning. And for us, adults, that positive framing is, well, it's a useful reminder, I think. Challenges some of the doom and gloom we hear.
Yeah, it's less about anxiety, more about curiosity. And it's not just wishful thinking, it's setting a purpose for these young adventurers, as the book calls them. The goal seems to be boosting confidence, sparking that curiosity, helping them feel like they can shape the future by learning, creating, asking big questions.
Thinking for themselves, staying safe, but fundamentally just being incredibly curious.
So how does it actually equip them? Let's look at the AI Explorer's Toolkit. It starts super basic, defining AI as basically making computers smart so they can think and learn like humans. Simple. And ChatGPT, it's a super smart robot that can talk to you, answer questions, and help you think. I mean, it's wonderfully direct.
And that simplicity, it's actually brilliant, even for adults. It cuts through all the jargon we sometimes get lost in. It just reminds you of the core idea. Honestly, a good refresher for anyone, even people working in the field.
That's a really good point. Then, crucially, it goes straight into understanding AI limitations. This is key for everyone. It introduces hallucinating, explains it like ChatGPT makes things up, kind of like when you're telling a story and get a little carried away, adding some extra details that aren't quite true.
Which is such a great analogy, because for us, that hallucination concept is vital. It's not like the AI is lying on purpose. It's just confidently generating stuff that sounds right but is actually wrong based on its screening data.
Right.
And the book's simple take highlights a really sophisticated problem for adults, too. You always have to verify, always question. The AI doesn't know it's wrong.
Absolutely. Foundational stuff for thinking critically online. Okay, building on that, it talks about prompts. Explains, the questions you ask ChatGPT are called prompts. The clearer your instructions, the better ChatGPT can help you.
Right.
And it gives great examples, like don't just say, tell me about space.
Right. Too vague.
Exactly. Use specific keywords like, what would I need to live on Mars? Much better. Or give context. Instead of write me a story, try write a short adventure story about a pirate who discovers a secret island.
Context is key.
And it even says, refine your questions. If the answer isn't quite right, ask again, maybe. Can you explain that in simpler words?
This isn't just a list. It's basically prompt engineering 101. And that skill, clearly telling an AI what you want, it's becoming essential for everyone. The quality you get out depends directly on how clear you are going in. That applies whether you're a CEO or a kid writing a story.
Definitely. Okay, beyond the tech side, There's a really important section on staying safe with ChatGPT. Essential guidance here. Things like working with a grown-up, and a big one, never share personal information.
Super important. No names, addresses, phone numbers, passwords.
None of it. And
Yeah.
crucially, always verify information. Check reliable sources it suggests, .gov, .edu, .org sites, or ask an adult.
Basic media literacy, really.
Yeah. Plus, be respectful in your conversations. Don't be mean to the AI, which is interesting, and take breaks from screens. Sensible stuff.
And they have those what-if safety scenarios, too.
Right. What if someone online asks you for your password? Answer, never give out your password to anyone. Clear and direct.
And what's smart is how they frame it all. Not like scary rules, but like rules of the adventure. Makes it feel empowering, not restrictive. These aren't just kid rules, they're fundamental digital citizenship for everyone, you know? Being proactive about safety online.
Yeah, really well put. Now, one part I found particularly cool was the power of what-if questions. The book calls them magic keys that unlock your imagination. I love that phrase.
It's a brilliant way to teach, isn't it? And the categories are great. What if things were different, like humans having tails, or a green sky?
Yeah.
Or what if I had superpowers? Breathe underwater, fly, or even bigger stuff. What if we solved a big problem like pollution-free cars or curing diseases?
Takes it from fun to functional.
Exactly. And for adults, these what-if questions, they're the root of innovation, aren't they? Pushing boundaries, thinking differently, it's how breakthroughs happen.
And here's where it gets really interesting, linking back to the production details we mentioned. One of the actual image prompts used in the book for this chapter was a vibrant and imaginative scene showcasing 3 different what-if scenarios.
Yeah.
A towering dinosaur walking through a modern city, a cheerful child excitedly talking to animals, and a creative cardboard spaceship built by kids.
Wow. Okay, so they're showing exactly how you can use AI to visualize these imaginative leaps. Taking that simple what-if idea and literally bringing it to life on the page using the very tools the book discusses. It's showing, not just telling. Very clever.
Super clever.
Yeah.
Okay, moving towards practical uses, there's the how can I challenge. This frames ChatGPT as your secret weapon for learning anything you want, helping you master new skills, solve problems creatively. It's very action-oriented. Like you could ask, how can I make a cool paper aeroplane? Or how can I learn to play the ukulele?
Simple, practical stuff.
Or even, how can I bake a chocolate chip biscuit?
Hmm.
It shows AI as this immediate resource for everyday learning.
And that flows really nicely into the where can I find quest, which tackles the super important topic of understanding bias in AI. It explains that AI learns from real-world data, right? So it can accidentally pick up our human biases.
Right.
The book gives a clear example. If an AI mostly reads stories with male doctors, it might wrongly assume girls don't like sports, which obviously isn't true. It just reflects the bias in the input data.
A really simple way to explain a complex problem. And to counter that, it talks about how to spot reliable information. The advice is straightforward but vital. Check multiple sources, at least 2 or 3. And look at websiteendings.gov.edu.org are generally more trustworthy than .com.
Basic, but crucial. And this is a huge takeaway for all of us, isn't it? In this information-flooded world, especially with AI summarizing things for us, these skills-checking sources, understanding potential bias, are absolutely essential for everyone, period.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. The book also explores how ChatGPT can be like a global tour guide and even an art buddy. It presents ChatGPT around the world as your magic carpet. You can explore cultures, learn languages, visit places virtually.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, imagine asking about a country you want to visit or asking ChatGPT to teach you, say, 5 basic phrases in Japanese, or planning a virtual trip, find out about festivals, traditional foods.
Yeah.
It just opens up the world.
And that connects nicely to the ChatGPT and art section. It positions AI as a fantastic partner for your artistic adventures. You can describe your art, get new ideas, write stories or poems about your art. It's about collaborating with the AI creatively.
Yeah, the try this examples are fun.
Yeah.
Like, describe your drawing to ChatGPT and see what it says. Compare its view to yours.
No, interesting.
Or ask it for art ideas. Maybe design a superhero or draw something silly. You can even write a story about your art or create a comic strip using ChatGPT to help with dialogue or captions.
See, that's what's compelling here. It's framing AI as a tool to amplify your creativity, not replace it. It encourages you to experiment, try new things, maybe lowers the barrier for people who don't think they're artistic.
Good point.
Yeah.
Now, as AI gets more powerful, the guide doesn't ignore the tricky stuff. There's a whole section on AI ethics.
Mm-hmm.
It defines ethics simply as deciding what's right and wrong, and states that as AI becomes more powerful, we have to think about using it responsibly.
Mm-hmm. And it poses these AI and ethics big questions. They're simple, but they hit hard. Things like fairness. How can we make sure AI is fair to everyone? Or safety. How can we make sure AI is used safely?
Big ones.
And responsibility. Who is responsible if AI makes a mistake? I mean, these are the exact questions regulators and tech companies are wrestling with right now. The book's simplicity really underscores how fundamental and difficult these questions are. Defining fairness for an algorithm, figuring out liability, it's not easy.
No kidding.
Yeah.
It really shows that ethical thinking is an ongoing process, a vital conversation for all of society, not just for tech people. It wraps up by looking at the future of AI, prompting readers to imagine possibilities but also consider the challenges as AI evolves, encouraging that foresight early on. Okay, now, for that unique peek behind the curtain we promised, we actually have the technical specs for how this book was published.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. The KDP Kindle direct publishing settings showed deliberate choices. It specifies standard color interior with white paper, a 6x9 size, and importantly, bleed.
Bleed, meaning the images go right to the very edge of the page.
Exactly. No white border. It's a small detail, but it makes a huge difference for a professional, immersive look, especially in a visually driven book like this. These aren't random choices. They affect quality, cost, the whole reader experience.
Shows real craft went into it.
Yeah.
And it gets even more meta. The book openly talks about using AI image generators in its AI image generators, your creative buddy section. It names tools like Midjourney and Microsoft Copilot as being used for its illustrations.
And we have the actual prompt they use for the front cover. Listen to this.
Yeah.
A bright and cheerful book cover illustration featuring one or more children excitedly interacting with AI on various devices. The screens display a futuristic, semi-transparent ChatGPT interface with glowing AI elements. The background is a vibrant blue with a playful, dynamic atmosphere suitable for an 8-12-year-old audience.
Wow, that's specific.
Totally. And it even mentions that the internal cover image, the astronaut on Mars 1, was also made with a ChatGPT prompt. It's literally demonstrating its own subject matter.
So what's the big takeaway here for you, the listener? It's that AI wasn't just the topic of the book. It was a core tool in actually creating it. It gives you this practical, firsthand look at how AI is already changing creative processes like book publishing. A real-world example.
Absolutely. And just quickly, the book also includes interactive bits like your AI Explorer's Journal for kids to jot down ideas, and really helpfully, a grown-up's guide to getting started with free AI tools. Covers setting up ChatGPT, Canva, Copilot, and crucially, reinforces those safety tips for the adults involved. It's a whole package.
Okay, so what a journey through the AI Adventure Guide. We've really unpacked a lot today. From AI basics and ChatGPT, crafting good prompts, sparking imagination with what-ifs, to using AI for learning, research, global exploration, even art, plus the critical stuff. Understanding bias, staying safe, thinking about ethics, and that unique look at how AI was used to make the book.
And I think the core message for you listening is pretty clear. Knowledge is great, but it's most valuable when you understand it and can apply it. This guide shows a way to approach AI with curiosity, not fear. How to evaluate info critically, see the limitations, but also harness the power for creativity and learning. All while keeping safety and ethics front and center. These aren't just lessons for kids, they're foundational for anyone using these tools today.
Absolutely. The simplicity we talked about, it actually reveals some pretty profound truths about navigating this tech, and it really hammers home that fostering curiosity is maybe our best strategy, our best asset in dealing with this rapidly changing world.
Which leads us to a final thought, maybe a challenge for you. Given everything we've discussed about AI as this supportive companion for imagination and problem solving, what if, or how can I, question will you ask AI next? What new idea could you unlock, or what challenge you've been mulling over could you tackle, keeping all those lessons about critical thinking and safety in mind?